David 林家伟吼，伊和我印象上深的，伊记事的时阵，伊就会讲，我是家己生，毋是家己生。伊3岁就来遮，伊安怎学台语的？伊就是咧开会的时阵，伫遐听人咧讲话，家己用英文去拼音，一字一字安尼学起来，做无简单。在2004年雅典奥运会拿那个 torch 不止一次，在2004年一次，在2010年的时候 Vancouver Winter Olympics 也是代表加拿大拿那个 Olympic torch。2012年的时候 ，David 荣获安大略多元文化理事协会颁证的杰出亚裔加拿大台湾人奖。2013年 ，David 获颁英国女王伊丽莎白2世登基60周年庆勋章。我们现在请 Lindsay 林来为我们讲几句话。
Hi. I didn't know I was supposed to speak today. So, sorry, I'll be speaking in English as my Taiwanese is not so great. I'd like to have my kids come up too. Today they had to wake up early just wanted to receive this award for the dad. Actually, it is through the Taiwanese convention that we got married, David and myself, as many of you were present during that time. And I would like to actually, at this time, thank all of you for your tremendous support throughout this difficult time for us. But it is a great pleasure and an honor for us to receive this award on behalf of David. And well, at this time, just thank you so much. And I see that Robert here is doing a tremendous job.
Thank you. I'd like to welcome our former president of the Taiwanese Canadian Association, Yo Wen-zhang, to present this award.
I have to apologize. I prepared a very nice trophy, but I forgot to go and get it. And this day, you saw my cell phone run. That guy called me, said, it's ready here, why did you pick up? I said, I'm here. So I just prepared just a copy of this one. But it's color one. So, but real one will send to you later. Sorry. Okay, real one is very nice.
Next, I would like to bring on Dr. Albert Lin to introduce our next award recipient.
Thank you. Thank you, Philip. Good morning.
Good morning.
Ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for the honor of introducing my former friend to many of us here, Dr. Robert Yi-Ming Huang. He was born in Tokyo. His maternal grandfather is Japanese. Maternal grandmother is a Parisian French lady. His father is an overseas Chinese. But by the fluke of the history, he became Taiwanese. He left the life and then language in 1946. He loved the place. He identified himself with the land. When I met him in 1960, he was so conscious about the social justice, so quickly we picked up the bits and pieces regarding the history of Taiwan and work on human rights. So historically, you can see some of the organizations came into being. Formosa Student Association at the University of Toronto, 61, 63, TCA, Formosan Canadian Association at that time, later changed to Taiwanese Canadian Association. 64 spring, Formosa League for Self-Determination, for Committee of Human Rights in Formosa, because Peng Min and 2 of his associates were arrested. Then, following UFI, World United Formosans for Independence. He is brilliant. He has been a brilliant professor of chemical engineering. He was the president of OCUVA, Ontario College and University Faculty Association, and was nominated as an NDP candidate for the Kitchener White Group. Had he accepted, he would be sure in. He was so brilliant that he was at the same time nominated to be the president of the College and University Faculty Association across the whole of Canada. Unfortunately, he had suffered carbon monoxide poisoning. But we remember his leadership. Without him, I think the Taiwanese Canadian Association may not have been here so early and contributed in such a great way to both Canadian society and to the Taiwanese, including the socio-political change in Taiwan. May I introduce and briefly ask his wife, Ritsuko. She decided to drive all the way to here by herself.
If I was expected to make a speech, I think I would have stayed home. But I'm still happy to be here because I had a long, happy association with the Taiwanese people. My parents came from Japan, and I was born here, so I speak very little Japanese. So my main language is English. I'm good at losing language. I should have studied a little bit of Taiwanese. I'm not good at learning a language. I'm good at losing a language. so I speak very little Japanese now. But anyway, I'm sure my husband will be honored and very happy to receive this award. He always felt that when he was in Taiwan, he felt it was the happiest time of his life. He felt that Taiwan had contributed a lot for his upbringing. So I guess in exchange, he felt that he had to do something in return. So anyway, as I say, I'm not much of a giver as speech, so this will be all you're going to get from me.
Thank you. Okay, again, it's not a real one. But I read it, it's not the same as a real one. It's called Outstanding Taiwanese Canadian Award, presented to Ritsuko Huang, honoring the late Robert Huang, the founder and visionary of TCA for his service to the cause of Taiwan in Canada. And we'll ask our former TCA president, Yowen Zhang, to present this one. A real one will be followed. Real one, this very nice one will follow.
the granddaughter of Dr. George Leslie Mackay, Miss Margaret Mackay. I would also like to bring up Mr. Michael Stanton to give us some introduction of Dr. George Leslie Mackay.
Well, we are honoring today not just George Leslie Mackay and not just Margaret, but the fact that for 3 generations, for 140 years, the Mackay family has given so much to Taiwan and had so much love for Taiwan. We thought it's time to recognize this great tradition. As you all know, George Leslie Mackay arrived in Tam Sui at 3:30 in the afternoon on March 9th, 1872, and he got off the boat and he said, "This is the place." Right? 就在这里. And of course, Tsai Ing-wen used that as her election campaign motto when she was running for Xin Taipei Shuzhang. Now, of course, George Leslie worked in Taiwan for 30 years, did an awful lot for the country, but I think the reason he is so loved and admired, and the reason Margaret is here today, is that he took the very bold step of marrying a local woman, Diu Changmia, a Taiwanese woman, and so he became the son-in-law of Taiwan. This was an act which separated him out from all the other missionaries and foreigners of his generation. In fact, as one of his colleagues back in Toronto wrote, he will regret this because Western men are not meant to marry Oriental ladies. But he did. And of course, they had 3 children, and the youngest, the son, George William, was born in 1882. George William came back. He was educated in Taiwan at the Kobe Academy and also in Canada at St. Andrew's College, which is now in Aurora. And he came back to Taiwan in 1911 to set up a high school coming out of Oxford College, and this was the origin of the Tam Kang Middle School, Danjiang Zhongxi. And he, then with his wife, served as the principal of the high school and as really the leader of the mission in the Presbyterian mission in northern Taiwan for the next 40 years. And he had 5 children. And Margaret was the youngest of all of those children, and she was born in 1919. And with her other children, they were tutored by their mother in Tam Sui, and then went to the Kobe Canadian Academy in Japan for their high school. And Margaret then came back to Canada, went to the University of Toronto, and spent her life working as a secretary and assistant in various offices of the Registrar, the Bursar's office at the University of Toronto. The last time Margaret visited Taiwan was in 2002 for the dedication of the George William Mackay Memorial Park on the campus of Tam Kang Middle School. And we're very happy that she is here today to represent herself, her siblings, and 2 generations of her ancestors as we honor the Mackay family and their contributions to Taiwan.
I'd like to invite our representative of Taiwan's Overseas Community Affairs Council, Ms. Marie Huang, to present the award. 我想要邀请我们的侨务委员黄丽美小姐来颁奖。
你要说几句话？Again. This is few words.
Thank you so much.
owe so much. I owe so much to Taiwan. I am grateful to our grandfather for giving us 2 homelands, Canada and Taiwan. My best memories are all of Taiwan.
She was born in 1919, so 94, 95. Now we have another one. Just stay here.
Michael did mention a while ago, Margaret's grandfather, when landed on the shore of beautiful Tamsui River, said, "This is my last resting place." Can you imagine that? Not only he had a vision. Please look into the history of Taiwan. He not only shared the gospel, medical mission, educational mission, as well as the first emphasis on the education to the women's girls. That is unprecedented, not only in that part of the world, but almost worldwide. His son, William, as Michael mentioned, 1911, came back and prepared for that high school. Tamsui used to be called. Later on, been forced to change to Tamgang High School. I don't know how many of you are here, but on behalf of the alumni of Tamgang High School, one of the alumni made a beautiful memento. The center part is a Bible with a cross. One side, Canadian flag, and the other, Taiwan. As the last week, 2 days ago, I'm supposed to represent the alumni together with Reverend Samson Zhou from Calgary, his elder brother, Reverend Dr. Stephen Zhou. He presented together to Margaret.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's my great privilege to be here today. I still remember when Sunday morning go to Tamsui Presbyterian Church. Margaret always called her father and walk to the church, the service. And they always sit in the front. And I never forget that, Margaret. It was 1958. I was, my brother and I, my brother Samson Zhou, who's Reverend Dr. Samson Zhou, who's made this talk of this plaque. He and I was first came to Tamsui, Tamgang High School from East Coast of Hualien. Hualien, how many people have been to Hualien? Yes, I think so. Beautiful place of Hualien City. And we both came in 1958, first from East, come to Tamgang School. And that time, Dr. Lin is my teacher. And never forget that. As you know, this is 50 years since our association established, and Tamsui, Tamgang High School was established by her father. So, and this is an opportunity we came and to present this token of an open Bible. One is on the cross, and the other one is a Canadian flag. And my cousin, she is also represent Taiwan Theological Seminary. and she also graduated as a music department in Taiwan Theological Center. Thank you.
For those of you who are associated with Tamkang High School, please stand up as we try to present this special gift to Margaret. Would you? Those of you who graduated from Tamkang, or from Oxford College, or Taiwan Theological Seminary, all associated with the Mackay Airport. Anyone? There's one. Sophie.
Oh, Sophie. Yeah, that's right.
The school song is beautiful. Composed words, if you have a chance to learn it. It was composed by
Well, my father was graduated from Tamkang.